Tamil cinema, especially in 2024, has not really managed to make a mark with its bigger films. But it's the smaller films which are coming out of nowhere and killing it. Why is that? Let's talk about it. Hello guys, I'm Nona and today we're talking about the Tamil film Lubber Pandhu or Rubber Ball, a sports drama film written and directed by Tamizharasan Pachamuthu. And this was his debut film. This film is streaming on Disney Plus Hotstar in 5 languages, so whichever language you prefer, you can watch this film in. And it will be a pleasant surprise. What's special about it is that a lot of things come together. There's rootedness in the story, yet there's scale which makes it quite universal, which is not the case with a lot of big pan-Indian films. So what is this film about? It's a clash between men, their egos, and that's nothing new. We have seen such stories many times. The top film that comes to my mind is the Malayalam film Ayappanam Koshiyam, where the whole film is just about the ego struggle between these two characters. Let me correct myself, these two male characters. And the same goes with this film. The portrayal here is quite grounded. There are no big movements that have led to this clash. There are these small movements which build up to that big moment. And we see how these two men have their own insecurities, which is what leading their egos getting hurt. And that's always the case in such fights. There's Anbu, a young upcoming man getting into his peak, and he's reached a point that he does not like to be treated as a kid. And on the other side, we have Geethu, who's probably in his last phase. Age is not on his side, but he's unable to accept it. And both of these men hurt each other's insecurity, leading to this clash, each wanting to prove that they're better than the other. And even now, both the characters are performed. Anbu played by Harish Kalyan and Gethu played by Dinesh. They perform their characters with a lot of subtlety, especially Gethu. He's very quiet, he doesn't say a lot. There is no exaggerated performance. It's quite simple, which feels very refreshing. But what makes it special is the setup these characters are in, which is very loud. We see this whole conflict happening through cricket. It is club level, intra-village town, mostly local tournaments. They're playing with a rubber ball, but still, it elevates that conflict to the next level. Now, as a cricket fan myself, I had a lot of fun watching it. There were a lot of references actually, which were not, translated in the subtitles, but I could hear them. Names like Saurav Ganguly, Gautam Gambhir, MS Dhoni, Surya Kumar Yadav. You don't need to know the language to get that. You just need to know cricket. And something that I found really shocking was people playing cricket in chappals and slippers, even for a seasoned ball. That really got me anxious. Now, knowing the sport in and out, there were few moments where they, took that creative liberty, where it's not realistic, but for the story's sake, they are doing it. Like playing with the rubber ball and playing with the cork ball is totally different ball game, no pun intended. But still, most of it is very grounded in nature. It's very rooted. The film is able to tell you that this area, this locality, they love cricket. There's a different craze for it. Someone has painted their house yellow with all the CSK players. They love it that much. Age cannot restrict their passion. Whatever the society may say, they'll still go and play every day. And all of that adds to this conflict we are having. A cricket match between these two people raises the stakes. It physically pitches them against each other without getting into a literal fight, but a competitive sporting event where they have to showcase their skill. It's not about power. It's not about their age. They're literally equal on that playing field. And loved how the film uses the elements of sports as tools to raise the tension. That Geethu is weak on the offside. That's where you should bowl at him. The run out at the non-striker's end, showing spirit of cricket, but that actually backfiring because it's insulting. Even something which is outside, the song that has to be played for a player, not playing it is an insult. Or playing the other person's song, that's even more insulting. So the way the film makes you indulge into all of this, as if you're part of the crowd watching this match, it just gets you hooked into the drama. But there's something more to all of this that's happening. And it was so refreshing to see that in a fight of these two male egos, it's actually the female characters that are dominating the plot and driving it ahead. That's literally unheard of. Their existence matter to the plot. They're not just in the story to support the male characters or being a sidekick to them. Instead, they are the determining factor. They're actually challenging these men and forming their character arcs. Yasodaya and Durga, the mom and daughter, they have their own ego, and even they are not gonna budge over. They're equal, if not more, to the men in the film. And you can see that in their screen presence, in the power dynamics. They have their own self-respect and their wants, which is prioritized. Not by the men in the film, they need to learn that, but by the script itself. And I feel the actresses nailed it. Yashodaya played by Swasika and Durga played by Sanjana Krishnamoorthy. And the best part is it's never in your face. The film is not nudging you. See, a woman character, she's so strong. It's nothing to announce. We just see it. It's right in front of us. It's not a lip service. You don't need to create noise and tell everyone, see, we did strong female characters. They are characters who are strong and they are female. That's the approach this film goes with. And if you notice, even with all of this, there's more. There's a lot more the film is dealing with. There's a whole caste discrimination angle, the feud between Anbu and Jolly friends, the team he wants to join, a side plot which is dealt very boldly without being too preachy in your face. We even have the family dynamic in Geethu's house. His was a love marriage. Yashodai was from a different caste. grandmas, the relationship she has with the mother-in-law, and how that comes around is a beautiful scene even they share. Then of course the whole romance angle with Durga and Anbu. That's what makes the whole plot complicated. So there are a lot of moving parts in the film. And I would say while watching the film at moments I felt like we are distracting from the main plot. We are losing focus. The screenplay needed to be more tight. But by the end of it, the way the film brings all of it together and the way it wraps it up, I didn't feel the same. I was satisfied with every plot line as well as the whole film. But there was this one thing which is not an issue but a subjective take I have. Like I didn't agree with the way one of the scenes in the climax was done. And to talk more about it, I want to get into spoiler territory. So if you have seen the film, then only continue watching. Spoiler alert. So the climax portion with the whole match between the two, and if Anbu loses, he'll never break cricket, he'll never get into the team. That situation was really interesting. That the opposite team actually got someone from outside their cast. They'd asked their surname, they just got him, and he's actually playing good for the team. That because of this feud and conflict, a change is actually happening. It's not about winning the match or not. And then we see Anbu loses the match. We see the other team celebrating, but then we cut to a flashback just moment before when Anbu's team was bowling and him saying to the captain that let them win. It's not about winning for us. Even if we lose, we actually win because a change has happened. That's more important. Now I totally understand the sentiment. It works. I get it. But I didn't like the way it is done because it's implying that he purposefully lost the match just so that the other team wins and change happens, and he purposefully lost. That's something I don't like because the way it's delivered like this, it makes it demeaning that they were not good enough to win, but I will lose purposefully. This scene in a way is making Anbu a big hero, that he purposefully lost. He'll never lose. He's the best, but he purposefully lost, which actually doesn't go well when you're talking about sports in general. You want that win to be earned by the other team. They were actually playing good, but this scene, this line kind of demeans what they actually did. They actually played really well, but this line makes it look like we let you win. Instead, maybe the same thing could have been achieved by showing that after the match is over, that the other team won, we see Anbu talking to the captain, and the captain saying, yeah, sad, yeah, we lost. And Anbu says, it's okay. We tried our best and we lost, the sportsman spirit. But if you really look at what has happened, the change we were able to create, that's the actual victory we got. So in a way, you delivered the same thing, but it's not demeaning to the other team that they didn't do anything. We let them win. That angle is not there anymore. But again, that's my personal subjective take. You may agree or disagree, but I just wish it was different. Yet again, a small Tamil film, very rooted, yet with the scale, with a dense narrative, becoming a universal story. But what happens when you're going big, when you're going pan-India? I try to break it down in this video. Why Tamil cinema hasn't able to crack pan-India. Check it out. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you next time.